this exercise is called Windscreen Wiper Abs. I'll quickly show it to you. You'll see why it's called Windscreen Wiper Abs, and then I'll explain why it's a total abs exercise and what that means. I'm also going to show you the progression. So Windscreen Wiper Abs, what we're going to do is lay on the floor. We're going to raise our legs up in the air. We're going to let them pass from left to right. And the key thing is that we want really good abdominal control throughout. So what you don't want is the weight of the legs or their momentum kind of creating torsion and twisting of the spine that hasn't been kind of decelerated and controlled by the abs. So almost like you want to keep your hands on your legs and kind of support their movement, except it's not your hands, it's your abs basically. So legs are up in the air and we're literally turning to the side, and then as they get heavier and the twist increases, we want the abs to really do their work so that the spine doesn't get too much torsion. And then under control, not too fast, do it so that you really feel the abs start the movement and come over. We're going to go to the other side. Do it slowly so the abs do the control. If you go fast, you will definitely get some of that twisting, forcing back. The same for accelerating back the other way. Yeah. So we're going to get that slow. If we let the legs tip slightly forwards, then we'll increase the involvement of the rectus abdominis and the amount of muscles that are working. So we can just let them tip slightly forwards, we like as well. So up here we get less rectus abdominis, more obliques. This is a nice position for it where we get a little bit more of everything. And I'll show you from the side as well as talk to you about all the abs. So there are several layers of abs. We've got very, very deep transverse abs. Let's just say that that's the core, the centre. And it does a lot of the sort of fixation, the kind of central sort of bracing that goes on. On top of that, we have two layers of obliques. So obliques definitely do all these sideways movements, but there's a lot of decelerating and opposing that the obliques do. So when the legs go this way and the weight picks up and they sort of want to head towards the ground, the obliques do lots of decelerating, as well as when they come back, they accelerate, and that's why we have two layers of obliques. But when they work together, they do a lot of fixation and control. And then we have the sort of most shallow layer of all, which we see when body fat is low, which is the rectus abdominis, the six-pack. And that one is really what we call like a flexion muscle. So it's the one that's bringing the rib cage up. So it's all layers of abs. If you move those legs too quickly, you've got the weight of your legs, but the actual force involved, because they're travelling at speed, is a lot. The abs are not quite like biceps or quads in as much as they can act kind of explosively, but your legs are heavy and there's a lot going on. So it's much, much better to take this exercise just a little bit slower and make sure that the tension in your abs is controlling the weight of the legs and the force involved in the momentum of those legs as well. If you go too fast, what will happen is some of that force will kind of escape control of your abs and just twist at your back, and that's not a great idea. So we're going to be here and we're going to the side. I'm going to decelerate it and bring it up. That's it, take it to the side, decelerate it, and bring it up, and get really good focus. So try to feel that stretch, feel that sense of control, and then squeeze from here to get that change of direction, start momentum back the other way. And you're doing that the whole time to protect the core. So that is Windscreen Wiper Abs. What we're now going to do is have a look at the hang version of that. So it's a progression, you'll have seen this one. Essentially we're going to be up on a pull-up bar or something. We're going to suspend the body, and then we're going to create a greater range of movement, and we're going to make the core have to do a little bit more work, as well as some total body work in holding the position. So dead straightforward, up we go, then we're going to go up in the air, and we're going to allow the body to go to the side, and then control back, and allow the body to go to the side, and control back. It's the same thing, tension, and the same thing with accelerate, decelerate. Once you're up there, if you do progress it, so obviously very advanced, this is much more kind of regular level, but if you do progress it, same thing applies. Don't throw everything left to right. It might feel satisfying because it's ballistic, but the odds are that you're actually landing on like skeletal structure rather than relying on muscle strength, power and condition. So there you go, Windscreen Wiper.